I feel sad now.
Hello everyone and welcome to my brand new channel. My name is Aliyah and today I'm going to be sharing with you my labor and delivery story. Now, I had my baby girl on the 16th of April and I was in early labor for about 3 weeks before that. So all of this started on the 28th of March. So that whole week was just weird. I had an appointment the Monday of that week, which I rescheduled because I was just in a lot of pain and I didn't really feel like going. So I rescheduled it for that Friday. But that Tuesday, I had a lot of pain and cramps and just really uncomfortable. So I went to triage to get checked out. So when I went to triage, they checked my cervix and I was dilated at about 1 centimeter. And nothing was really going on when I went to triage. I wasn't really having any contractions, but the baby was doing fine. So they sent me home. And then I had an appointment with my OBGYN that Friday. So he checked me. He said I was about 2 centimeters dilated and that my cervix was starting to thin out. So the baby's head was still up and like in the floating position. I guess that's where they're at before they actually engage into the pelvis. So that's what that was. And then the following week on a Thursday, I had an appointment with my woman OBGYN, who is who I've seen the majority of my pregnancy. And she checked me out at that appointment and she said I was about at 1 centimeter and my cervix was getting softer, but she could feel the baby's head, which was really weird to me because a week before my doctor had just said that I was 2 centimeters. So I don't know, I just kind of brushed it off. I didn't really care. Then the day before I had my baby, I went to the doctor's again. I had an appointment with my woman OBGYN and she checked me and she said I was at about a 2 and that I was 80 to 90% effaced and she could still feel the baby's head. So as I was leaving that appointment, since I was due the next Tuesday after that, they wanted to schedule me an induction, but everything was pretty much full, so they didn't have any open slots until May 5th. So they said that if I didn't have the baby within 2 weeks, I would get induced on May 5th. And I was like, no honey, like I was not about to wait until May 5th to have my baby. I was already over being pregnant at this point. I was tired, guys. I was tired. And I know you all know how that is when you're pregnant and it's the last month and you're just over it and you just want the baby already. I know you guys know. I was just tired and I was like, I'm not about to wait until May 5th to have my baby. No, 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 honey. So I told my boyfriend that day that we're going out, we're going walking, we're getting active, like we're gonna get this show on the road. So we went out that day, we went to Target, we went to the mall, we walked around, I got a pedicure, just did normal stuff that we usually do on the weekends. And then we went back home, we had dinner at around 7 or 8, and then we were in bed by like 10 or 11. And that night, guys, was terrible. Like I didn't get any sleep because I was in so much pain. Well, I wasn't really in pain, I was just kind of uncomfortable. I was having a lot of cramps, my back was hurting so bad. I couldn't really get comfortable in a comfortable position because I was just uncomfortable, like, I don't know. So my boyfriend slept and I just kind of tossed and turned all night, barely slept a wink. And then my boyfriend woke up at 5:30 to go to work. And that's when my contractions, my real contractions started, like on the dot, 5:30 on the dot. They were coming about 5 minutes apart, and they lasted for about a minute and a half. It was kind of like sporadic at this point, but they were definitely having a pattern. My boyfriend was asking if I wanted him to stay, but I told him just to go to work because I just kind of wanted to like labor at home for as long as possible, because I know how hospitals can be, and I know they like to intervene and try to kind of make you do things that you don't really want to do. So I just kind of wanted to stay home for as long as possible. So I told my boyfriend just to go to work. So he went to work, and I decided to get up and get moving. So I just wasn't kind of just sitting there in pain. It was really uncomfortable anyway. So I took a bath, and I called up my mom. I told her what was going on. I kind of told Facebook like what was going on, like the baby was gonna come soon, and I took a shower. I'm pretty sure the bath kind of kicked off my contractions a little more, because they definitely got stronger after I got out of the bath and the shower. But I was still okay, like there weren't anything too serious. I was just picking up the house. I was getting our bags all the way packed, just getting us ready to go. And then my boyfriend shows up at the house like at about 7 p.m. I think he came back at the house. So I was in labor on my own for about 2 hours at home. He started getting our bags in the car, and I'm like, babe, like, why are you here? I didn't tell you to come. I wasn't ready, but I just kind of went because he had already left work, so I wasn't gonna make him go back, and I just didn't want to do all that. So we went and picked up my mom and grandma, and then we headed to the hospital. And my contractions weren't really at the point that I wanted them to be for me to be like checked in to the hospital. So we walked around the entire hospital building about 3 times, like back and forth, to kind of get the contractions a little bit stronger and get them closer together. And they definitely did what I wanted them to do. They definitely got stronger. Because I was kind of having to like moan through them a little. Not really moan through them, but just I had to like stop and just kind of focus on the contraction and breathe through the contraction. And they were about 2 to 3 minutes apart. So we went to triage. I got checked into triage. They put the contraction monitor and the fetal heart rate monitor on my belly, and they checked my cervix, and I was at about a 3.5 centimeters dilated. So the nurse told me to just walk around for about an hour and see if I'm progressing at all, because if I wasn't, then obviously I wasn't really in labor, but if I was progressing, that they would keep me. But she could see that the pain that I was in, so she kind of knew already that I was gonna stay. So me and my boyfriend walked around the maternity ward for an hour, and my contractions definitely got stronger. I stopped tracking them because I just didn't care at this point. It was painful, and I knew that I was gonna stay anyway. I didn't really care how far apart they were. So I just kind of left it at that, and I was just walking around, and I was in pain. I was moaning through them. I was having to hold my boyfriend's hand. They were getting really bad, and then I just kind of was like, I don't want to walk anymore. Like, let's go back. Let's call the nurse. Let's get checked into the room because I know I'm staying. So we went back to the triage room, called the nurse, told her to come through. She checked me. I was about at a 4.5, 5, and she took me to my room. She got me situated, told me all the policies of the hospital, told me what was available to me during birth and labor. She told me about kangaroo care, which was like you're just naked and they put the baby directly on your chest after she's born. I was definitely wanting to do that. And that was it. They got my IV hooked up. They got some fluids in there because they said I was kind of low on my fluid. They drew blood for me, and they kind of just left me there to just kind of labor it out and just relax. So that's exactly what I did. I just kind of started laboring it out. I was relaxing. I walked around a little bit. I was on the birthing ball. I wanted to try the hydrobirth tub thing, but they didn't let me. I don't know. The doctor told me he didn't want people in the tub, so I just was like, whatever. But I was fine. Like, I was chilling. Then they kind of got bad, and I was just kind of tired. Like, I was just tired of like being in labor. So I just kind of sat down on this comfy chair that was there, and I let myself labor. and I wasn't really keeping track of the time, so I can't tell you exactly what times they came, but they came in to check me a while after, and I was at 6 centimeters, I think that's when they checked me. And then the doctor asked if it was okay if he could break my water, and I said that's fine, sure. So I laid in bed, he checked me again, and I was still at 6, and then he broke my water, and it was just like this long, freaky looking pin needle. It wasn't a pin needle, but it looked like a pin needle. It was like really long, and he just stuck it up there and broke my water. And it wasn't really a gush for me, it was just kind of like slow. It wasn't like a big, just like slow. But they did that, whatever. After that, the contractions definitely got more painful. They were so bad, you guys. Then I called the nurse and I told her, like, I need some medicine, I need some painkiller, something. So they brought me, I don't know what it's called, but it's that medicine they give you that kind of makes you feel like you're like loopy and just out of it. I don't know, they brought me that, and it helped for a while, but then when it started to wear off, the pain just kind of all came back, and I couldn't really handle it. I was over it. So I wanted an epidural ASAP. So I called and I'm like, send me the anesthesiologist. I need an epidural. I'm in pain, honey. Like, let's go. The anesthesiologist came, and I remember getting up to get myself positioned for the anesthesiologist to put the epidural in my back, and I just blacked out, yo. Like, my boyfriend had to hold me up. It was crazy. Like, it was so much pain that I just like blacked out. They did check me before I got the epidural, and I was 6.5 centimeters at that point getting the epidural. So I didn't have the completely natural birth that I wanted, but I did get pretty far on my own, and I'm pretty proud of that because labor ain't easy, honey. Like, it ain't. So then I got in the position to get the epidural. Everybody left. It was really hard because I was having really strong contractions, and they were so painful. Like, I could barely stay still through them. So I was just hugging the pillow, and the nurse was just holding my hand, and it was awkward because I never do that, but I had to because it was just so much pain, like, and I couldn't move. So the epidural went in, and I couldn't leave the bed after that point. I had to stay in bed, which I didn't care because I was just tired. I just wanted to go to sleep anyway. So I had the epidural in, and I just kind of fell asleep. And then the next thing I know, I'm waking up, and the nurse is coming in to check me, and I'm at 10, guys. Here we go. Like, I was so happy. I was so nervous. I started to shake. I think it was because of the epidural, but I was shaking. Like, I was ready, like, to push this baby out. And the doctor came in, and my boyfriend had one leg up, and the nurse had the other leg up. And I was just pushing, honey. I was pushing so hard. Like, I probably looked so crazy, but I was pushing. Like, I wanted her to come out. So I guess about 16 minutes later, which is what the doctor told me, it was about 16 minutes of pushing, she came out, and she was here. I didn't tear because the doctor was giving me a perineal massage or whatever it is. That definitely helped me. Pushing wasn't really that hard. It was exhausting, definitely exhausting, but it wasn't that hard, and it wasn't painful because I had an epidural, so I really don't know what natural birth pushing is like, so can't really fill you in on that. But she came out, and she was so perfect. She had 10 fingers, 10 toes, a full head of hair. She weighed 7 pounds, 6 ounces, and she was 19 inches long, and she came out at 6:34 p.m. So I was in labor for about 13 hours, starting up from 5:30 a.m. to 6:34 p.m. obviously. Yeah, my beautiful baby girl is just so perfect, and I can't ask for anything better. Her name is Aliyah Renee, and me and my boyfriend are just enjoying her so much. She's about 8 weeks now. She'll be 2 months on the 16th, and she's just so smart, and she's so big, and I just can't believe how fast she's growing. She can already roll over. She's trying to talk to us. She's always laughing and smiling, and we just love her so much. And I'm so blessed, and I'm so happy to have her, and I'm so blessed to have such a healthy and easy birth, and it was just a perfect experience. I couldn't have asked for anything better, and I'm just really happy with the way things went, and that's all I can really say about it. I mean, that's it. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm really happy that I could share it with you, and I did want this to be my first video because this is the most memorable and most precious moment in my life, and I did want to share that with you all. So I hope you enjoyed. Please like, subscribe, and share if you want to. I can't really tell you to, but if you want to. And for all you first-time mommies or expectant mommy, just enjoy your birth and labor. Like, that's all I can say, is try to make the best of it because it is the most amazing thing ever. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next one.